are. Welcome. In this video, we're going to be taking a logo and importing it into our program here called V-Carve. So it looks like this, V-Carve Pro 9.5. We have that on our laptops for class. I'm going to open that while that's loading here. I'm going to go back to my logo, and I'm going to find a logo that I can print in AutoCAD here and that I can cut out with our plasma. So I'm just going to do this one. It kind of has all the things that I want to demonstrate in this lesson. So I'm just going to copy my image here. And then when I open up V-Carve, I can make this big. I'm going to go to create a new file. Okay. Now in this first window, it's asking us to set up our job. So single-sided is fine because we're just going to do it in 2D. But we need to set up our workpiece. For this one today, I'm doing 8 by 8. Okay, it's just going to be a small sign. I'm not going to be worried about any of my appearance here, and I'm just going to click on OK. Okay, so this is an 8 by 8 box. Now I can double check with my ruler on the top and the side. What I need to do is I'm just going to click on here, and I'm going to paste off of my clipboard my logo. Okay, so I want this to, if the 8 by 8 sheet is my metal, I want this to take up most of the size of my project here and not go all the way off, but kind of center it and get it set up how I want. All right, so there is our logo. Now we're ready to trace it. The whole reason we're bringing it into V-Carve before we take it into AutoCAD is so we can use this tool that makes this very easy and quick called Trace Bitmap. So when we were over in that first layout panel, okay, it was the setup. We had to go and accept it and close it to get to this panel here. This takes us back to our file operations. So if you can't find this, come and get me. But we're going to go to Trace Bitmap, and now it highlights everything that we want in our scene. We're going to try a couple different things in here. We can set this for color or black and white. If we have a single basic color, it's finding a whole bunch of different shades in here, which is a little bit tricky, but we can try black and white, okay, for our scene, and then we would have to set the threshold here. Now it's not going to show much until we go down and hit preview. What we're looking for is a nice trace line around everything so that it gives us a nice clean cut when we run it on our plasma. And you can adjust your threshold here, and we'll see how that works. If that gets better or worse, we can tighten up our corners because in our M, it's a little bit loose. And we have a little bit of pixelation here, so I'm going to add some more pixels here, and let's preview and see if that's cleaner. Okay, so you can play around with this a little bit and just click on preview. Actually, I like that better with a looser fit. If I want to see what it looks like, I can fade this and it just shows me my layer here. So I really want to clean this up if I can, but I'm not sure if it will let me make a distinction in there. So let's preview that. So this is about as good as we're going to get with the black and white. I can also try it in color, but before I do anything, because this is basically a 2-color cutout, I want to reduce this down to 2 colors, okay? So I'm going to slide this all the way down, and I want it to trace just the green, okay? I'm not worried about anything else, so I'm going to click on the green, and then this is just to show me what it's going to look like when I trim that out of there, and I can turn my pixels up, and let's preview this. I don't want this double line on there, so that's an issue. It's going to cut twice, and I don't like that at all. So I think I'm going to go back to my black and white. When you find the one that works the best, okay, this is a single line, a single cut, perfect, then we are ready to apply. So I'm going to go down here to my apply button. Okay, so here's my apply button. I click apply, and then I want to close this window. We got to get back to our file operations window here. That changes the color here, but it shows us our outline. So now we are ready to export this outline as a DXF drawing, which is a DXF is a drawing file that AutoCAD can read, and we will make a few adjustments in there. So instead of save, I can save this project. So in case I want to come back and make some other alterations on it later, I'm just going to call it clam here, and I'm going to save it in my metals folder. Make sure that you save it to your M drive. That should be probably like a 5-digit number there. And I'm going to call this clam. Okay, I'm going to overwrite the other one. If you fix it up a little more, you can overwrite right on top of the other one. Once that's saved, I'm going to go to export. Okay, I want to export this as a DXF file. This gives me a few different varieties of how we can share this file. And I'm going to call this is my rough one that I still have to bridge. So I'm going to call this my clam logo DXF file, but it needs to be bridged. And I'll show you what bridging means in a minute, just so we don't lose this chunk out of the A. It would just cut out and fall out. So I'm going to save it like that, because when we're done in AutoCAD, we are going to need to resave it once again. So that is how we get it ready to export as a DXF. It is saved on my hard drive now, and it is ready to put into AutoCAD. I will come back in the next video, and we will be doing that in the next one. Thanks for joining me in this first part as far as how to trace out our design. Thanks, and we'll see you.